ICE is now detaining African American citizens in Chicago.
African Americans are being arrested by ICE in America. Let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So the conversation that is going on right now is that what happened in Chicago a couple of days ago is that the ICE and the entire government went to populated African American building to arrest people in the middle of the night, taking people and asking them if they have an active warrant out there for them and keeping them in detention and for a couple of hours and releasing some of them. And this has struck the entire conversation because when this whole thing was happening to the Asian people, the Latino people, and even the immigrant people, people were debating if this was going to affect the African American people. When I mean the African American people, I mean the African American people. So to see that this is now what it is, and the president of the United States actually said that he's going to send troops to Chicago, and people are saying that now the African American community and people is being targeted, even though they belong there, even though this is their land too. As every other American, they belong there. That is their home. That is the only home they know. They are being targeted by ICE and people are talking about it. Anyway, guys, let's go check people's reaction to this new development that is going on in the United States with ICE official targeting African American people. So let's go check it out and then we'll come back and talk more.
ICE is now detaining African American citizens in Chicago, like as we speak. And the governor has come out and said to record everything, narrate everything, make sure everything is documented, ask for their badge number, even if they refuse, get them on camera. But I'm gonna say that again. ICE is now detaining Black citizens in Chicago. For every Black American that got on the internet and this app and refused to talk about what ICE was doing and what is going on in our country, because I don't really care about the Hispanic community because they don't care about us. Which is BS in of itself, but that's a whole nother conversation. We told you that we would be next, right? And y'all didn't listen. And look. So this is a sign for everyone to get off their damn high horses and start caring about what is going on in your communities and in your nation. Whether or not is this happening to someone who looks like you. Simply because we are human. This shit is not okay. And we've been yelling that.
ICE is now going after and detaining all Black people in Chicago, including Black Americans, regardless of your citizenship status and regardless if you are native to this country.
Lives in this building, and she says she was detained by ICE agents overnight, and she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher says she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me did I have any warrants, and I told them no. I didn't.
She says she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizen App video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents. Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. That's all.
It appears that ICE agents have been targeting Black neighborhoods and specifically apartment complexes where they know majority of the population of those buildings are Black Americans who are native to America, ergo American citizens. This was a threat that was told to us by Kamala Harris and many people that he would send troops after citizens and that he definitely would do his darndest to go after Latinos first, Asians second, and then us. Stay vigilant, stay safe, because who knows what's going to happen. The Governor Prichter is fighting against Trump now, pushing back on Trump sending in the army and the military, which he's still planning to do. But ICE agents have ramped up their efforts in Chicago over the last couple of days because of this, including now Black people.
And I ain't never been Mr. I Told You So. So with the news of the Chicago ICE raids, I'm still not going to be that. But from now on, I need y'all to understand, if you are a black African American, if you are just brown or a POC, you are now immediately a target for ICE raids. In case you ain't know, them folks done ran up into an apartment complex in the middle of Chicago, and regardless of how them folks spoke, regardless of where they said they was from, regardless of how they appeared, they got thrown into a van and sent in for questioning. Some folks didn't get out until 3 a.m., and that's for the older elderly women. That means that is an illegal search. That is an illegal arrest, going into your property, search and seizure, and then sending you in for questioning. And if you had a warrant out for your arrest, you're not getting sent back. That is not normal. That is not okay. That is civilly unrest. So with that news now being understood, all the people in Illinois, I'm sure you know by now, but the governor informed everyone to record everything, to narrate everything, to look at badge and to look out for a badge number and document that too. So for all my African Americans, I need y'all to understand, if them folks come up to you for questioning and they do not give you a badge or a badge number, you do not have to comply. I'm gonna say that again. I'm not telling you what to do, but this is something we've seen in our history. They already sending national troops to Memphis, so it's quite clear that they are now attempting to police us in very illegal measures. They already got spyware going on and all that. But what's really more important right now for you to understand, there are plenty of resources online, and you need to go into that, look at it, and figure out what to do whenever you are potentially questioned by ICE. Also, what's necessary is if you are someone in a city that you're unfamiliar to, you don't got family there, you don't got anything of the sort, there are plenty of organizations there that are based on immigration advocacy, that are based on African American solidarity, that are based on just being a POC or regardless of what you identify as. Go to that and make that your community. It's time that all of us, we need to be more caring and more cognizant of each other's existence. Watch out for the next man's back, watch out for the next neighbor's back, and just be a little bit more understanding of everyone around you. Get to know your neighbor if you don't. Get to know their name. You know what I'm saying? It's time that you actively do a little bit more to be paying attention of the safety of your neighborhood. Because right now, what Trump's doing is targeting any major city that is potentially outspoken, and any major city that got black people. And you need to be cognizant of that. Do as much research as you can so you know what to do in case you get questioned. And please, 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 once again, if you see your neighbor potentially at risk by some people that don't look like ICE agents, but potentially could be a dupe, make sure it is known that you are there bearing witness, and let that next person know, if they aren't identifying themselves, that they don't have to comply. Just make sure you are safe. It's a lot of grifters out there, it's a lot of bounty hunters, and it's a lot of people out there getting ready to take advantage of the situation. And I'm not trying to fearmonger, but just inform. The illegal arrests and the search and seizures and the lack of warrants going on, that ain't gonna be sustainable. But right now, remaining informed is the best thing you can do, major city or not.
ICE is detaining black people in Chicago. Do you understand? We told y'all it was going to start with Hispanic people and immigrants, and they were already going after Haitians, already going after my people. So I've been saying this, but like, they're now ICE is now detaining black people in Chicago. They just raided a whole apartment complex. Ain't that crazy? They raided a whole apartment complex. And it didn't matter what you were doing in your apartment. You had people roll up in your house, detain you. And if you had a warrant out, they kept you. That's like, what are you doing in my house in the first place? They're detaining black people in Chicago. So, okay. All right. So what now? When does when do we stop working and start working? You know, like, because I don't understand, like, what do we do now?
Back in June, I was called a tether by my own people because I was telling Black Americans that we are not absolved from the harms of ICE, and that it's been important to advocate for immigrant community because the Americanness was never going to save us because they will see the blackness first. I also said they're not going to be asking anybody for their IDs or their birth certificate. And here we are at the beginning of October, where a community of Black American people have been picked up by ICE. And not only were these Black Americans picked up and detained by ICE, but their entire building, their homes, their apartments were ransacked and left in complete disarray.
ICE is the police. We have always seen that when it comes to black folks, that police tend to often get it wrong with us. They identify the criminality based on the rape. And y'all don't think that ICE does the same?
So let's be very clear. If you didn't know it then, maybe you'll learn it now. Solidarity in these times It's what's going to save us. Coming together and recognize that we have the same boot on our necks will get us out of our egos and maybe the fortitude to protect each other. Because while folks make the joke, oh, where are they gonna send us to? We're American. You do know they don't give a damn. And that they've also been sending people to places outside of their home countries. And for those who have been paying attention, some folks get picked up and disappear. And that's very real.
If ICE is detaining black people now in Chicago, where are they sending us? Where are we going? Don't threaten me with a good time. Send me to Turks and Caicos.
ICE is now targeting and arresting African Americans in their raids. I guess they were told, like, just arrest anybody with a warrant, but obviously now they're targeting African Americans as well. You know, in addition to what they were already doing. And my first question is, if someone has a warrant out, shouldn't that be like actual law enforcement that handles that? Not ICE, who literally goes there with like mask covering their face and no badge or no identification, and they can just kind of do anything willy-nilly? Like, what? Why is that now the thing? My other thing is, what is going to constitute as a warrant in a time where the current administration is basically making it a crime to speak out against them? Like, long-term wise, that would be their goal, to basically make it not legal to speak out against the current administration. And then what if they start issuing warrants based off of that? And then ICE basically just starts going off of that as well. And like how it's already targeting African Americans as well as the Hispanic community. This is not, no. And I also feel like it's them trying to rile black people up and get us out into the streets in order to enact some type of martial law, maybe. I don't know. But like, that's another thing that I'm thinking. Like, maybe they are just in a state of like trying to provoke the black community in America, and we're just not going for it. And so they just keep having to throw new tricks out and try new things. But it's like they are not stopping, no matter how much they see that we are remaining at rest. Like, it almost feels like they are intentionally trying to rile us up and do anything they possibly can to get us out into those streets, to make us angry, to make us mad, and then to harvest off of our energy. Like, this shit is actually all crazy. Seriously.
And if you think that's the first and the last time that they will raid black homes, you ain't been paying attention. That's why I always said that when it comes down to injustices, we always have to be boots on the ground. We always have to be paying attention, because due to systemic and structural racism that's so embedded in American culture, black people will always be at the forefront of injustices, no matter if it does not have anything to do with us. No matter if the target is quote unquote not us. I knew the moment that Donald Trump said that he was going to invade Chicago, that they were going to go straight for black people. Chicago, DC, all these places that's heavily populated by black people. This administration hates black and brown people. All y'all who said that they didn't have nothing to do with me when the LA raids happened, yes it did. It had everything to do with you. These are the same people who are trying to reverse birthright citizenship. Them people ran into them people building at 2:00 a.m. while they were asleep, pulled them out their houses. Black people, Venezuelan people, brown people, they pulled them all out their houses, their children. They stuffed them into U-Haul vans, okay? It wasn't just ICE, it was the FBI. It was the city police. It was all of them. All of them work together. At this point, ICE is the police. They didn't ask them for any type of verification of their citizenship. They didn't ask them anything, but do you have warrants? Why is ICE asking people if they have warrants? They tore these people houses up. They didn't give them any kind of warrants. Even when the black people said, I think you got the wrong house, I'm a citizen, they still pulled them out. They literally lined them up and separated them like they were prisoners going to a concentration camp. We've seen this before. Look at the article. A tenant said that this is the worst that they've seen in an apartment. Mind you, the apartment was already ran under a slumlord, but this just made it 10 times worse. Imagine you having to go downstairs and make a police report with the same people who just ran in and ravaged your damn apartment. For no reason. For no reason. They don't give a damn that we're citizens at this point. I really need y'all to remove the shock factor at this point. We need to stop being shocked about what these people do. We need to now be on the offense and defense, okay? You need to start having these conversations amongst your peers. You need to get to know your neighbors next door. You need to start joining organizations, grassroots organizations that are fighting against shit like this. Now is not the time for apathy. Now is not the time to say, well, it's not happening to me. Are you going to wait until it knocks on your front door? Or are you going to get emotional now? Or are you going to get in the field right now? If you're going to wait for it to knock on your front door, nobody's going to be left to fight for you. Nobody's going to be left to fight for your plight or your people. It's time for you to start caring about everybody else outside of you in your own worldview. Trust me, I was with black women when we said we was gonna rest, baby, because I am still resting. I'm resting for fighting for the people who voted for this shit to be in office right now. But marginalized people, I'ma always be boots on the ground. I'ma always fight for the plight of marginalized people until I can't fight no more. And I really need y'all to lock in.
It's crazy. Let me know what you think about this Chicago raid on Black Americans. Let me know your own takedown in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thoughts. Love to know what you guys think. For me, this is really crazy, like seeing what's happening in the US. Like it's almost like every other day there's always something out there about on the news about the US. And I think we've had this conversation when they were raiding the Asian and immigrants, both from Africa and Asia. Like I like we already had a conversation that this was going to eventually trickle down to the rest part of my people that are not whites, literally in the US. But to actually see it that in less than how many months this man is in power and things have taken this turn so quick, we still have 3 more years to go. For me, it is really scary that even the people that are from the United States are not even safe just because they are black too. And then people are already asking the question like, oh, so where are they going to take or where are they going to send us back to? Have you noticed that they have like a detention camp? Is it in Rwanda, one of these Africa country? They have in South American country. They have it all over. They don't care where you're from. They just go drop you there. And for me, that would be a very scary thing. Imagine a father or a mother just being removed from the US, where all they know all their life is the United States. That is their home. That is their land, and then be taken out to somewhere they've never been to before and can't get hold of their family. Like, for me, that is really scary. But also, there's also another news I saw that they said that ICE is targeting children and they are going to take children and then ask them to sign off a rate. I'm going to look for that video and insert it.
We have some very serious and horrific news right now about the Chicago ICE raid on a residential apartment building earlier this week that not many people are talking about. We're learning more gruesome details in this moment. Ebony Sweets Watson, who's a neighbor of the apartment building, lives right across the street, says it looked like hundreds of agents were outside of her front door. She saw agents dragging residents across the ground, including children, out of the building without any clothes on and into U-Haul vans. Kids were actively separated from their mother. She said it was heartbreaking to watch because even if you're not a mother, seeing kids, quote, coming out and taken from their mothers, it was horrible. She went in to help one of the residents in the building and she was shocked by what she saw. There was stuff everywhere. Birth certificates and paperwork was thrown all over. Water was leaking into the hallway. ICE ransacked a residential building, children out into U-Haul vans in Chicago, and no one is talking about it. Spread the word because people need to know. Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
For me, that is crazy. The fact that this administration is making an active thing to come for black people of color, non-white people, literally. For me, it's really crazy how much 2025, when we talk about racism, people say black people are overreacting, black women are overreacting when we talk about racism. But the truth is that racism is and when it comes to America, like I've always said in all my video, whatever happened in America trickles down one way or the other. So when we see the American government is targeting black people, it's scary because it's just going to trickle down. And this is really heartbroken. And I feel like every other person has said, this is a time. This is not a time for diaspora war or any. This is not a time to fight each other at this time, especially the minorities in America, especially people that are not black in America. People that are not white in America. This is the time to come together as a black community, whether you're from the diaspora, whether you're from the African American. This is the time to come together and look out for each other. Like the other people are saying that this is the time for you to know your neighbor, their name, stand out when you see something funny happening, speak up. I know the way the American system, like you can see something happening and just go about your day like no man's business. This is not the time to be in that attitude and say, oh, I'm minding my business. Speak up, because that could literally be your cousin on the other street being taken out by ICE at this point. So for me, this is really scary. This is really heartbroken to see that this is what is happening in the United States. That is almost like the forefront for democracy. That's what other countries look up to for democracy, and seeing how this is playing out, for me, it is scary. Anyway, guys, you guys let me know what you guys think about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful and let's have the conversation. What do you think, before I go on, what do you think that the people of the United States, or the black people as a community, can do to protect and guide and speak up for each other? What are the tips you're going to give? Leave it down in the comment section. Okay, let's have that conversation. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have amazing conversation here, so go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see it, and then y'all be you supporting this channel and supporting me, but also the word will be out there the most. Okay, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and be safe out there. Please be safe out there, my people. Please be safe. There are also tips talking about how, before I go, sorry, I have to put that. There's also tips talking about how, don't come out if ICE is knocking at your door. Stay at your door. When they tell you to come out with your ID, don't come out, because that is them trying to trick you to come out and so that they can have access to you. They don't have any right to come into your house without a warrant. So please, let's stay informed and all that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.